Welcome to the first ever Roni's Remedy podcast. I'm going to introduce myself. My name's Veronica Baumgartner, but everyone calls me Roni. I am the Yuma Sun advice columnist. I write the advice column. I'm a certified relationship and life coach. And one day I just called the Sun and said, I'd like to start an advice column. And they said, sure, let's do it. And slowly over time, people in the community were asking me to start a podcast. And I kind of was like, no, I'm not sure it's something I really have time for. But over the last few weeks, it seems like it's the right time. So here we are. I'm here in the basement of the Yuma Sun, and we are doing this amazing podcast. So what's going to happen is I'm going to hopefully have a guest every week, and I'm going to surprise them with the questions that I've kind of already answered in my column. And we're going to dive deeper into whatever pops up. I mean, anything could be boundaries, relationships, marriage, finances. So this was kind of a surprise I sprung on my first guest, but I can't imagine starting this with anybody else. This is my mother, and this is my mom. And so do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Becky Leffler, better known as Granny Baw. 7 grandkids, born and raised in Yuma.
Mm-hmm.
Did live in New Mexico for 7 years,
Yes.
but in the 90s, so it was like, seems like it was a million years ago.
Yeah.
But Yuma's in my blood. I'll probably never leave. And I'm retired, and I'm a dog sitter, or pet sitter, I should say.
Where did you retire from?
I retired from the county.
Mm-hmm.
I worked in the Superior Court, and then we retired from juvenile court after working there for, probably worked about 15 years through the county, through the justice system. So, but I've worked for lawyers since the 80s.
Yeah, I can always remember you working for lawyers, and I'd get to go hang out in the offices and
make you clean
or play or like whatever we could do while you worked. You know, I just always remember being in all the offices. But I thought, okay, let's have my mom on because I've learned a lot of my, wisdom with life experience, living it with her, watching her go through what she's gone through. And I have 2 older sisters here. I mean, not here, but they're in Colorado. So I'm sure they'll think this is funny. But yeah, I thought what a great way to kick off the podcast with like your own parent. And so, like I said, the format is going to be, we're just going to roll with it, answer some questions, and maybe see how similar or dissimilar our views are, because it's okay to not agree, So we're going to kick it off with the first question. Are you ready?
Sure.
All right. Now these are past questions I've already answered. So in the paper. So we're just going to now dive deeper into them. All right, here we go. The question, or I guess the letter, I should say, is my spouse and I keep separate finances, and I find myself in a bit of credit card debt that my spouse does not know about. How do I approach this situation with them without them getting super upset? Signed, Secret Spender.
I think she set herself up for that since they have separate credit, separate everything, right? All their finances are separate?
Yes, that's what it said. They keep separate finances.
So what's hers is hers and what's his is his. I don't know. I think she probably should say something if she's in trouble financially. Yes. But that's one of the downfalls of having separate finances, I guess.
So how many times have you been married?
Twice.
Okay. Now, when you were married, did you have joint finances?
Everything. Yeah.
And why did you make that decision?
It was just the way it worked.
Yeah.
I mean, I never even thought about having separate. I have a lot of friends and family that have separate finances. I see the benefit of it because you get to spend your own money.
Sure.
And they have their own cards or whatever. But ultimately, because I'm in the legal field, you're still going to be. If you get divorced, it's all together since the day you were married. So I don't know. Crazy. I just don't see the point in it, I guess.
Yeah. So you think that she needs to tell her spouse that she's in credit card debt?
I would. I mean, isn't that what marriage is about?
Yes. And that's so I obviously already answered this, but that's kind of what I said. It's like, well, one, I always kind of try to answer their question. Her question is, how do I approach this situation with him without them getting upset? Well, you can't control his reaction. Like, he's probably not going to be happy the fact that you're hiding credit card debt, but honesty is number one. Like communication, honesty, and if you just go to your spouse and say, I kind of need to talk to you, my shopping's got a little out of control, I need help. I think that then that opens up the door to like a really beautiful conversation about how to manage this. Because honestly, when like you're saying, when you are married, it's all tied together. So what's affecting her credit score is probably affecting his credit score.
Unless they have a pre-op.
Oh, okay. So then I don't have a prenup. Sorry, Bo. I mean, it doesn't. So it's my husband, and we have joint finances. So he was always kind of against that when we first got together. And I'm like, well, we need a joint bank account. I'm not working. You're working. I need access to your money. And he's like, I don't know. It always scared him to have everything in one basket. So, but we did it, and we have our joint bank account. And then we've got like different credit cards that are separate from each other. But the secret is, and I think the key to this is, we have access to all of that. So I can go on all of his accounts. He can go all of mine. So, and I think that keeps it really open with us about money, because I feel like money can be a big divider in a marriage.
Sure can.
With your past marriages, did you guys argue about money, or not really?
Well, not really. Not that I can really. It's been a long time since I've been married, but no, I don't remember that being a big, significant reason for arguments. With my first marriage, I was watching kids at home.
Yes.
Because I didn't work out of the home, and so I was bringing in income, so it was never an issue. My second marriage, I worked at the same place that my ex-husband worked at.
Yes.
So it was never an issue. We didn't seem to have any financial issues. Now, who's to say if we would have had financial issues, that would have been an issue, but it didn't seem to be a problem at the time.
Okay. Yeah, I can see money like, I'm a certified coach, and in my training, I discovered that it's not money or religion that really separates marriages. It's people not showing up for each other. I was really, really surprised at that fact. And most people think people fight about money, religion, kids, things like that. But it was actually just not showing up for your partner, just not being like emotionally available. But me and my husband have gotten to our fair share of arguments about money, about how to control it or this or that. But as long as we come together in the end, I think that's what matters. So I would tell this person, you can't control your spouse's reaction, but what you can do is go to them open and honest and just set the groundwork to have a conversation about getting your credit card debt under control, because you don't want that to get out of control. So, any other words on that?
No.
Okay, great. Next question. I have an older sibling who relies on my elderly parents financially. My parents are on a fixed income and can't continue to fund my sibling for much longer, but they continue to give support. Should I share my concerns with my parents first or my sibling? Is it even any of my business? Signed, Salty Sibling. So what do you think?
Okay, so an older sibling who is a bum is feeding off of his parents still, and they're allowing it.
Yes, exactly.
They're allowing,
and they're on a fixed income,
right?
So he's kind of digging into their pockets.
I would say the only. Okay, what was the question though? What was the question?
Should I share my concerns with my parents first or my sibling? So they're worried that the sibling's kind of draining their income, but the parents won't stop. Yeah. So kind of enabling. We have some enabling going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess the siblings probably know. I mean, they have to be aware. I would imagine everybody is contributing somehow, emotionally, financially, to keep the older one afloat. By some degree, they're probably helping their parents, and
maybe,
I'm just thinking that financially probably helping them somehow. So I don't know if I think this. I don't know if having a conversation with the parents is really going to make any difference. But if it makes the person feel better, because these parents are probably going to do whatever they're going to do until they're bankrupt. So I mean, start with the siblings, I suppose.
And then the second part of the question is it even any of my business? Yeah. Do you think so?
If I'm the sibling that is having to pick up the slack, maybe help my parents because they've run out of money for the month for food,
and why,
whatever, and it's affecting me personally, I definitely think it's my business. But it doesn't matter if it's helping financially, if it's for enabling a drug addiction or whatever the case may be. If it's not affecting me, then I have a tendency to probably not say anything, you know, because it's probably not going to make a difference.
Has this happened? Like, okay, so fun fact about my mom, she has 14 siblings. And so, um, has any of this happened to you personally? Like seeing your siblings
Oh,
drain your parents financially when
absolutely.
they were alive?
When they
Yeah.
were younger,
Ah,
and I have had some siblings that have been sick or drug
yeah.
addicts,
Mhm.
and they lived at home. They didn't work.
Mm.
You know, the rest of us moved out, moved on with our lives.
Mhm.
But and then watching my parents have money stolen from
Oh,
them,
wow.
you know,
Yeah.
and then having to pay for their food, even just that.
Yeah.
Another male who can eat a lot, because
Sure.
I mean, typically the teenagers, no matter who you are,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of food.
Oh,
And
yes, I have a 16-year-old
yeah,
at home. It's insane.
crazy.
Mhm.
So just that, having another person under your roof, can be very financially burdening. You know, so
Yeah. You've witnessed it
oh yeah,
firsthand.
oh absolutely,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Well, I think in terms of my answer, I definitely feel like it's somewhat of your business because you're watching your parents' life be affected. So you care about your parents. That's why you want to find out, do I say something? Do I not? This is worrying you. I do agree with my mom in the fact that if you do say something, it probably won't have any bearing on what they're going to do because it sounds like they're already enabling the other sibling.
Yeah.
They're already enabling. They want to take care of them. But sometimes it takes somebody bringing a situation to light to bring facts to the table. So maybe by them going to their parents saying, "Look, I'm a little worried about how much you're financially supporting, my brother or sister. So maybe like, do you need help? Is this something you want to do? Like, how do we come to a family consensus about how
I
to
guess you could have a
stop
big
this?"
family meeting.
Yeah.
Everybody shows up.
Yeah, and I just think things should be talked about instead of shoved under the rug. It happens a lot with families, kind of just like, oh, let's just not talk about it. And so, I mean, I'm the baby of my family. I have two older sisters. So like my mom said, she has three daughters. And I was kind of the one that relied on my mom a little bit more. And so I bet my older sisters can really relate with this because was there ever a time they told you to like stop enabling me?
No, because they were gone. They were pretty much out the door by
Yeah.
then, because there's a 5-year difference between you and Kim, and then a 7 with you and Marlena. So they were off to college already
Yeah.
and doing their own thing. So, and their friends. And so they weren't home all the time to
See it,
see.
yeah.
And I enabled you because you were underage, first of all. So if you got in trouble, I would get in trouble.
I was still legally yours.
So, and I don't know if you call it enabling,
Yeah.
you just do what you can for your kids.
Mhm.
But then once you turn 18, you left,
Yes, I
So,
did. I couldn't wait to leave Yuma. And then I came back like everybody does. And been here for what, 10, 11 years now?
yeah.
Yeah, I moved to Phoenix when I was 18, went to college, and I came back, because my life was kind of going down the toilet. I needed help, and my mom was here to help me and all of that. So I was super grateful for that. That was the right kind of help, and in helping me get my life together. And it's been 11 years, and I'm super grateful for that. But back to the question, I think share your concerns with your parents and your sibling. It should be a whole thing, like not division. Oh, let me talk to parents over here. Let me talk to sibling. Like, let's all sit down together, hammer it out. And then maybe something changes and maybe nothing changes. Like, we just don't know. So good luck with that. But
At least you said your piece and you
exactly.
can
And
move
it's
on.
okay to speak up. Like, it's okay to say something. It doesn't mean your relationship's going to be over because you spoke your truth. So good luck. All right, let's answer another one. It says, I lost touch with a very good friend after high school and recently attended my reunion. The friend I had lost touch with didn't attend the reunion, and I'm wondering if I should reach out to them. I would love to reconnect, but I'm not sure they would be open to it. What should I do? Signed, Memory Lane. What?
No,
You don't like
just
the
like, no,
question?
it's just a simple act of calling the person. I don't
That's
know.
hard
Is
for
it
people,
more,
though.
is it hard? Okay.
That can be hard for people, especially it's been a very long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess, you go to your reunion, you're hoping this person's there, they're not there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess reflect on why it is that you've lost touch. If it's
Yeah.
something that you think you can gain back, is it just because of life, or is there something heavier than that? But if it was just that you've lost touch because your lives moved in separate directions,
Yeah.
I don't see a reason why maybe going on social media, see if you can find them that way,
Mhm.
reaching out, say, hi, how you doing? You know, and start small conversations. And then you can get a good feeling of how they feel just from a few questions and,
Yeah.
and a few comments, you know, like
Maybe if
that.
they
So,
even answer you back,
yeah.
they're willing to open that
Yeah.
door again. And I think
And then it's out of your control.
it's kind of like, well, why did you lose touch? Like
Yeah.
you were saying, like, did you have a fight? Did some drama happen to where, you know, like you stopped talking? So maybe analyze that. But so much time has passed that it shouldn't be that big of a deal. And we're not who we were back in high school. I've had friends that I've recently reunited with, you know, that I was like really good friends in high school with. You lose touch because you graduate and then you go your own separate ways. And now we talk all the time. So, but I know my mom and she's had the same friends from high school. Do you want to say hi to them?
Hi, Ginge.
Ginger,
Oh,
wink,
Ginger,
wink.
Jerry, Christina, Julie, just, you know, and, you know, it's a small group,
Yeah.
but they're my people, you know?
Yeah.
And we've been friends since high school. I don't have any friends really maybe from middle school, but, you know,
Well,
Ginger's my person. So
yeah.
without her, I don't know. But, and you know what? And funny that you asked that, or they asked that question, because there were times where Ginger and I didn't talk.
Wow, really?
You know, yeah, like when we moved to New Mexico, I mean, we kept in touch. We wrote letters, you know, written
old
letters.
school, snail mail.
But we didn't talk. Sometimes we'd go months without talking because she was raising her children.
Yeah.
She was working, same with me. And it didn't mean anything because we knew that we'd always be friends and we'd get together and it would be like we never stopped seeing each other, you know, so.
Interesting. Well, I mean, months is okay.
Yeah.
Like months is okay. Sometimes you don't have to talk every day, especially you guys weren't even living in the same state.
No,
You
yeah.
know?
But even when we were in Yuma, I mean, we stayed in contact, but you know, it's not like we saw each other all the time. We didn't go to lunch. Now I think we spend more time now together now that we're both retired and can do that.
And like you said, though, you were raising families. So I'm always having people like, why don't you hang out or do this? I'm like, I'm at home with my kids where I really, really want to be. And there'll be a time in my life where I do other things, where I'm able to be retired and I'm able to go in and have those lunch dates or those girl trips, whatever. You know, my kids are still young, 16, 8, and 4. So to be present at home with them is like the most important thing that I could possibly do right now. So.
And if your friends don't understand that, then they're really not.
Yeah, they're probably too needy. And so for memory lane, just contact your friend. Like you said, find them on social media, maybe just call their old phone number. I mean, I know like my sister, Kim, has had her number, the same number since she was like 16 or 18 maybe. I don't even think there were cell phones back then. I got my first cell phone at 18. So just reach out to them, see if they want to talk to you, and just be like, hey, how are you doing?
It doesn't have to be let's get together tomorrow, you know.
No,
it could be a simple, how you doing? Have a little conversation, what's going on with your life.
Yeah, I'd like to catch up. I miss you. I went to the reunion and you weren't there. Just kind of wondering if you're okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to speak again. And then just kind of open the door. Yeah, like I said, I've had old friendships rekindle over the last year or two. And it's been great. And it's cool because the change in all of us was huge. We were able to all mature and see where our lives are now, career-wise, relationship-wise, marriage-wise. So it's pretty neat. So don't be scared to reach out to old friends, I think is the moral of that story. You agree?
Yep, I do.
Okay.
And, you know, it might happen organically. You know, there's mutual friends everywhere. So some other of your friends might be reaching out to them and then it happens, you know, just without even realizing it.
Exactly. All right, this next one is, I suffer from PTSD, child abuse, have now reached menopause, and I'm very short-tempered. I find myself standoffish towards my husband out of fear of snapping at him for no reason. How do I navigate this for the sake of my relationship? Signed, desperate yet hopeful.
Ooh. Oh, gosh. There's no better way to handle something like that than to just come out and talk to your spouse. Explain what's going on with your body, maybe a pamphlet or two.
Yes,
you know,
that would be good.
So he can understand what happens in a woman's body when you go through all that craziness and, well, not crazy, that's probably a bad word to use, but, you know, the PTSD and all that stuff. I mean, that's some serious stuff.
Yeah.
And who better than to know how or what's going on with your body and everything else is your loved ones, you know? So I don't know, openness is key in this situation. I think you need to explain what it is and why you are acting the way you are.
Yeah.
Or else he's just going to make every assumption in the world that you've
Mhm.
just not you've become a person he doesn't even know.
Yeah. And I feel like if you got married, he probably knows you have PTSD, you know, issues with child abuse.
Unless he caused it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, from marriage. But like, I feel like he probably knows you have PTSD, you suffer from child abuse, and like, you know, you're going through the change. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like if you're living
That's
with
a
someone,
lot.
yeah, like for this triple whammy, I kind of feel like someone would expect you to be a little bit agitated and a little bit short-tempered. But I do know that all of those things doesn't give you an excuse to treat people like however you want to treat them.
Yeah.
You have to get it under control the best you can. So, and like, so the question is, how do I navigate this for the sake of my relationship? I would one, seek the help of a doctor if you're not already. Go get some meds, go get something to help you deal with all of like the hormonal changes going on in your body. And then just tell your husband, look, I'm really sorry if I'm being like short with you. I love you very much, but I'm going through a lot mentally and emotionally right now. So if you could just like hang with me during this hard time, I'd really, really appreciate it. And then maybe he'll give you some tips and tools on how to talk to him. Maybe that like there shouldn't be so much fear, you know, of snapping at him, or we shouldn't get to the level of freaking out, you know, or exploding. It should be, let's take care of this before we get to that, you know, boiling point. Because that's where like snapping happens. And we've all seen that show Snapped, right? Have you?
Yes.
It's
We don't want to be on that show.
You don't want to, then you're in jail. And so I just feel like, yeah, for the sake of navigating this for your relationship, just give him a hug. Tell him you're sorry, you know, for acting the way you're acting, and try to come to a better way to communicate. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't gone through menopause, so I don't know what that's like.
I didn't either.
You didn't go through it?
No, it was
But
all.
you went through it.
Yeah, but it wasn't like boom.
Like
It
the
was
hot
like
flashes.
yeah, I never had any of that.
Dang, you
I
had
was like,
no symptoms?
no.
Wasn't it early too?
Yeah.
At what age?
Oh, early 50s.
Oh man, I still got like 10 years of
That's
this.
early though.
Oh my God. Oh, that's early.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is.
I don't know the average age.
Some of my friends are still going through it, and we're in our late 60s.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
There's
And I've
still,
heard such bad, horrible things about it. So the fact that you had an easy menopause, I'm hoping for the same thing.
yeah.
But yeah, you know, PTSD, like you were saying, child abuse, that's nothing to joke around about and just brush under the rug. If you haven't seen somebody about that, go talk to somebody. Like, get it out so that you can heal from that and move on with your life, so you don't carry that baggage into future relationships.
Like the PTSD and the child abuse and all that stuff is probably something that she doesn't like talking about to begin with. So it would help her to maybe let him in, but which is hard to do. Letting him in because she could use his support, I'm sure.
Exactly.
You know?
And it's kind of back to what we were saying before, like marriage, you have to be a team. You got to be a team. There's no enemies here. We're on the same team. That's what me and Bo tell each other all the time. Like, same team when we start getting agitated with each other. We're on the same side.
I'm on your side.
So calm down and let's talk about this, you know. But I like that question a lot. It was real deep. So last question before we end our first premiere episode. Okay. My family and I were invited to spend time with my in-laws for Christmas. I'm not close to his family, and I don't feel that either side has made much effort to be close, but I'm okay with that. I don't get a lot of time off for the holidays and would like to just stay home. My husband wants to plan to spend some time with them, but would it be weird to tell him to go without me and go on his own, since we don't want to do the same thing, and I don't mind if he goes? What do you think?
I have friends that spend different vacations
than their husband.
Yeah. They typically, and these are friends that don't have children, so I should probably say that.
Yeah.
Or preface with that. He goes and he spends time with his family. She goes and does her own thing. I know at least 2 couples that do that.
Okay.
And they have a solid marriage because of it. I don't know if it's the only reason, but that's one of the benefits of that. They both understand that he doesn't really care to be around, you know, them and vice versa. So it's a mutual understanding, and they both have a great They both have good times. They have their time off is valuable to them.
Yeah.
So they'd rather spend it being happy. And you know you're not going to be happy if your husband is sulking in the corner.
Yeah.
Because
or vice versa.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you're sour to be there. Yeah, because you don't like your mother-in-law or whatever.
But then there's also if you have children now, you need to do some compromise.
Yeah.
You know, make it even, you know, okay, we went there this year, we're going to go there this year. suck it up, you know, that's just
I
how it's going to
agree.
be.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be weird to tell them that, hey, go on your own. Yeah, so this question doesn't say if they have kids or not. And so I don't know, all the details. That's one of the things about these questions is I wish I had more detail, but it wouldn't be weird for your husband to go and spend time with his parents for the holiday and you stay home. As long as you let them know like, hey, this isn't because I don't want to see you. It's because I really just want to stay home this year. And you know me, Mom, I'm not big on tradition. I am not
Yeah.
big on tradition. I do not like doing the same thing every Christmas, every New Year's. Like, I'm so over the repetition that, yeah, let's change it up. One year we go here, one year we go there. And so I'm for change. And as long as it doesn't become too much of a habit where you never travel together, because
Yeah.
I do believe you should travel
Yeah.
together. You shouldn't always just be so separate. I've always found that odd because when me and my husband have always gone trips, it's together.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. I want to spend that time with him. And so but I've like you said, as I've noticed if people gotten older, they might go on like their own trip, like a girls trip
Girls, yeah.
or a guy's trip,
Mhm.
like whatever, but they should always still have that time together too. But, in terms of the holidays, I'm not a big holiday person, and I know they honestly stress me out more than anything. Holidays stress me out. There's a lot of expectations. There's a lot of pressure to act a certain way. And so, yeah, if you want to stay home and relax one year, more power to you. That's what
Well,
I think.
this is definitely something that you need to plan. Plan, Plan,
And she pointed
out.
at me because we don't plan.
Oh, and I'm the biggest planner in the world. So,
I know.
But plan out, I mean, if you have to, okay, this year we're going on our
Yeah.
family vacation, and then after that, and your family, the extended family is just going to have to understand.
Exactly.
Exactly.
it's
They
not-
can come
yeah.
to you,
Yes.
at the same thing, so it's just one of those things where, that's, you're just
It's
going to
just
have
compromise.
to, just figure it out and move on. So.
And it's okay to do different things. And like you said, yeah, maybe they come to you or you just switch it up every year. But no, to answer the question, it would not be weird to tell him to go without you.
Yeah.
That would be okay. It doesn't mean you don't love him. Doesn't mean you don't like his family. It just means
And
that
everybody will be happier.
Yeah. And without the fighting and the
Yeah.
weirdness and the awkwardness. And that's kind of what I don't like holidays because I feel like they bring a lot of that and a lot of
And
just
it might not even be a
stress.
whole lot of that. It's
Yeah.
just that it's not where you want to be, so
Yeah.
you're bored.
And there's
A
different
lot of it is boredom.
personalities
Like
too.
families
Yeah.
get together and they're all talking about past stuff that happened
Yeah.
when they were younger.
Oh, yes.
And then you're left out, not
know who any
knowing
of
what,
these people
so you
are.
can't join in the conversation.
Exactly. Well, that was a great answer. So we answered a lot of questions. I've really enjoyed digging in my mom's brain more and having her here to support this. She's been my #1 supporter for the advice column, all the things that it's going on right now in my life. And so I very much thought it'd be great to have her as my first guest. So make sure you check out my advice column. It comes out every Saturday morning in the Yuma Sun. Send me questions. You can find me on social media. It's Roni's Remedy or Veronica Baumgartner. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all the things, and send me questions, talk to me. And then, yeah, this is going to be a weekly podcast too. And we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.
Bye.